Hello Jedi Knights and Sith alike, and welcome back to form training. Today we're going to be learning about Soresu. Yet again, I am basing this off of the forms by the Imperial Legion. I am not a member, nor have I trained under them, so this is fully based on what they do, not actually what they do. Now I really wanted to teach Soresu for the simple reason that it has a very unique look to it. And as Jedi and Sith, we like to look unique. Whereas Shicho and Mikashi are very basic looking stuff, really. Soresu starts striking like this. Which, I know what you're thinking, that's very weird. But it is a new moveset to add to your arsenal, so it's a fun little thing to maybe add in the middle of something. So I really like it just for the uniqueness of how you look while using it. I believe you're still supposed to pretend like you have edge alignment in this. So if you hold out your finger like this is your true edge. So just make sure that you're not wiggling it around. You're supposed to kind of go around and still strike where you're pointing, so your true edge, no matter from where you're going. So I think you're perfectly fine doing that. I, however, being extra weird, either use the side or the back for that extra weird, unique look. Just depends on what you're doing. Of course, if you're going from this into a spin or something, then you're going to want to align it so that your hand's already going in the correct direction. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, starting stance. Saber up around eye level. Hand out if you want. You can go full Kenobi if you want, or just on your chest, or just out of the way somewhere. So how are we going to strike? You can either do a full crescent, or a half crescent, or a mini crescent. So a full one is you kind of bring the tip out over your head and come back in. So if I'm coming at your shoulder here, go over my head and into your shoulder. A half one, you kind of go just up. And then the mini one, you just kind of draw a little C with your tip. So you're gonna just and come in. If you're doing the full rotation over your head, it's best to come in with the edge aligned. The half one, again, probably better to align your edge. And then the mini one, I personally like to just use the side of my blade. So a C. So that's the first shoulder, that's one to the right shoulder. From here, of course, you're going to have to draw back to your starting position. You're going to go to the other shoulder. So you're going to dip your tip down, bring it back up. So if you want to do the full move, it's a big dip down and a big swing in. And at this point, you're hitting with the back of your saber. So you can see, pointing out, so my true edge this way. So this would be your false edge, or the back of your saber. And then the second way of doing it, again, you can again dip the tip just a little bit less and straighten out and go for the shoulder. And then you're striking with your true edge. And then one more again, you can just draw a little C with the tip of your blade and hit with your side. So there's one, there's two, and there's three. So if we're going from one shoulder to the other, you'd go this and here. So, la, pa. Gonna need to draw it back again, or we can go for the legs. Again, you can start with the right side, and again, you can just do a full over your head and down. Full over your head and down. You can go to the slightly smaller version of it. Again, align your tip, you're just gonna, and then you can just draw the tiny little C with your tip and go bop. So, and then the other leg, you're gonna do the full dip down and strike at the leg. Then you can do it smaller, and of course just draw the C. Back to your position, and the head is just a little swing around, straight down. If you want to do it differently, you can, again, not make it as exaggerated on the way down. You just move the tip a little bit come down. And then even less so, it's just a tiny little U movement and bounce it up and down. Of course, you can reset your point over here as well. That's fine, it doesn't always have to be here. It can be here, just as long as the saber is in this position. So you can go like this, here, reset, go down, go down. It's much more comfortable. If you're resetting from this point though, the strikes become a little bit more different. So let's say I want to strike at the right shoulder from this. This time, instead of doing a C, you're going to kind of do a little U. So you're going to dip down and out, all right? So the big one is just a big, like that. Small one, you're just going to draw a tiny U and extend your arm. Just going to dip it down and move it back in. On the other shoulder, just drawing a little C and placing it, or doing the full rotation or the half. The right leg, you're going to dip it down and extend. Dip it down and extend your arm, or do the full swing. And then the other one, it's just a big little C straight down. Or tiny one, just a little tap. So as you can see, there's a multitude of different ways of striking with this, but there's a lot more going into these strikes, more so than Shicho, for example, which is just always going to be that. Watch out when you are striking with Soresu, just to make sure that you're looking different from, for example, Mikashi when you're coming in. Mikashi, for example, comes in much more at an angle like this. When you're using Soresu, you're going to want to kind of come in like that. So every strike should always be as parallel as you can get it. Of course, you're moving the saber around a lot, so it's hard to get, and it's hard to see because, again, you may be coming up here, and it's gonna look like it's coming in an X, but when you're coming up, you correct it. You're kind of dipping it in rather than striking with it. The blocks for Soresu is, that's it. Shoulder, shoulder, leg, leg, head. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, you can do this two-handed, which will add a lot more control to every single strike, but you lose that extra flourishy look, you know? It'll look a whole lot more controlled like this. And that, my friends, is Soresu. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to do this one for so long, and I hope it came through. If you need any extra help, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram. I love helping however I can. Or if you just need a pat on the back for doing it well, send me a video. I'd love to see it. Just remember, you can kind of hold out your finger to help with alignment of your blade and how you're going to want to end your strikes. You're kind of always going to be pointing at your opponent most of the time, or pointing away, depending on which strike you're going for. And yeah, good luck, guys. Again, reach out if you need any help. I'm always here and ready to talk. Of course, the lightsaber I've been using here today is the Vente, my very own lightsaber that you can get at azsabers.com exclusively. It is a fantastic, may I dare say, perfect flow saber, and I really, really recommend you get one. It also sounds insanely good. I've been Stony Magnum. You've been fantastic. I will see you guys in the next one.